weekend tonight. How's your week?
Oh, great. Well, I want to welcome you to the Scandal Podcast. I am Jaha Knight, and I am joined today by Abigail Barriola. And we are discussing hunting season 2, episode 3. I almost got thrown off by saying season twice, but I powered through it. So, welcome to the Scandal Podcast.
Thank you.
So, we are going to get into it. What did you think about this episode?
Um, I really liked this episode. It was interesting watching it because I haven't been watching Scandal since the hiatus. Um, I
I'll
know.
hate you. I'll hate you, Abigail.
But it
And
was
then you have
interesting.
Abby's name at that.
I
Wait a
know.
minute.
But it was interesting seeing what got me hooked on the show in the first place because
Hmm.
I guess my enthusiasm has sort of dwindled a little bit because I'm generally pretty much here for Scandal, like the highest notch. But over the summer, since I haven't been watching it and the cast isn't live tweeting and Carrie's hiatus from Twitter and stuff,
Hmm.
it sort of brought me like here.
Regular, like a regular person.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the show's not on yet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love this episode too because I love Edison. I think he is such a cool
Really?
dude. I like Edison. I don't know why people don't like him. I thought that he was awesome. I think he's awesome.
I think Edison is okay. I just don't like him for Liv. I think
Oh,
he's okay.
you just stabbed me all in the heart. Like,
I mean, but it's true though. He doesn't see her as sort of her own entity. Like I mean, this is a later episode, but when he asked, like, you can't be a senator's wife, like, is that what it is? Is that why you don't want to be with me? But really, it's just that, I mean, what Olivia does is more than a senator's wife would ever do, you know?
but I think
Um,
that's only because, like, you have to think about it. Most men in power want a wife that is not going to be as powerful.
right, yeah. But I
So
mean, that's not who Olivia is.
it's not, but he can compromise. I'm quite sure she had that conversation with him. He'd be like, all right, Liv, man, dang, I'm going to do it. Okay, fine. Go ahead and do your thing. I think she just didn't give him a chance. And even,
But she did give him a chance though, because
no,
they
she
were
didn't.
dating before.
Yeah, they were dating before, but this dating right now, this one that she just did with him, rebound dating.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
I
rebound
agree.
dating. Like she didn't want to add to her number. You know how most women do. They're like, well, if I go back to that, I don't have to. None of my numbers rise. You know what I mean? She didn't want to add to her numbers, so she just went ahead and went with the flow instead of just saying, Edison, if we're in a relationship, this is what I want. She does it with everything else. Why couldn't she do it with him? She
But I
didn't
don't
want
think she
to.
does it with her relationships, really,
You don't
period.
think
At least
so?
her romantic relationships.
We are so off topic. Okay. What were your 3 highlights for this episode? And we'll work that in, what you were saying earlier.
um, I Okay, so I thought it was interesting because Shonda always does these parallels, and so it was the beginning or the re-beginning of Edison and Olivia, but it was also the beginning of Dabby. Um, and
Oh, I'm like,
yeah,
it's Gabby. Oh,
sorry, David and
yes.
Abby.
Yeah. I got it. It took a
um,
second.
so I thought that was interesting because I mean I'm sure if I watched the rest of the episodes, I would have more to pull out, but I'm sure that their relationships are going to parallel each other at least a little bit um,
Ooh,
as
I never
the season
paid
goes
attention
on.
to that.
Yeah, I
Maybe
didn't
because I
either.
just I tend to block Abby completely out. Like I just tend to be like, shut up. Fast forward through this DVR.
I like Abby. A lot of people don't like Quinn or Abby, but I like both of them.
Yeah, Yvette, the last episode, she doesn't like Quinn. Like she's like, I don't see it for Quinn. But do you have any other ones?
Yes. I liked when at the end of the episode when Liv told Huck thank you when he was out by her car, and then he said no, thank you, because I think that's foreshadowing of a lot of things, but of Liv's monologue with Huck in 752 and how how they both sort of see each other as saving them.
The other, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so.
Um,
You made me smile in my heart right there. I love that.
and then the other one, oh, so, and then along with those lines, with the thank you, I thought that maybe Liv with OPA is trying to create the family that she never had. So
Mm.
maybe that might be something that is sort of followed up in season three.
You
Um,
know, I never thought about that, but it really is kind of like that. Abby literally acts like her sister, like an annoying sister
yeah.
would. And then Harrison is like a brother that's always gonna, like her big brother almost. He wants to
hmm
make sure she gets everything she needs. And Huck is the protector. He makes sure that
hmm
nobody messes with Liv and does go above and beyond for her. So you are right. I never thought about it like that.
And
Uh,
Quinn is like the kid sister that everybody
yeah,
has to look out for. But
yeah,
even
she's
with
growing up.
Yeah, but even with Harrison, he could also be considered the little brother because sometimes there are little
Mm.
brothers who are super protective of their older sisters.
That's
Yeah.
true too. Oh, I never thought about it like that. So here we got two different um, takes on it. I believe that Yvette just said last episode that she felt that it's a codependent relationship. Like each
Mhm.
set of people in the team have a codependent relationship. Harrison and Abby, I guess Habby, um, Quinn and Huck, which is Huckleberry Quinn, and I feel that Olivia had a codependent relationship with Steven. So just
Mhm.
like you're saying with the sibling relationship and then the codependence, they kind of yeah, I see that. I see both of them, I like
Yeah.
that. That's pretty interesting. You analysts. I never thought about any of this stuff until I started doing these things with you all. And I'm just like, oh, it surprised me. Um, did you give me a third one?
No, I didn't. Abby, when Harrison asks, "How did this happen?" after Artie sort of played them, Abby says, "As for why this happened, we have to ask Olivia that. She's off her game. Her gut is broken, and we have no idea what she's thinking." And I think
Mm-hmm.
this is significant because Olivia's gut really has been off since 101, since we first met her. And the show started when everything was starting to unravel for her, and now her associates are starting to pick up on it. So I think that this is an important shift. Instead of just the viewers seeing that her gut's been off, her associates are starting to see that her gut's been off too.
Oh, I like that a lot. I loved when Melly went in that office and was like, "So you saw Olivia, eh?" It's like, "Get over her!" I was like, "Ooh." Maybe we
Yeah.
blow back. Whew. So I love that. Then when Liv and Edison met and talked in the park. Hmm. I thought that was great. The when Fitz screams at Olivia in the car, "Get
hmm
out of the car!" Everybody screamed a lot this episode.
hmm
You realize that? And then
Yeah.
I think this is when we start to see Fitz start to drink, and Melly realizes that something's wrong because all up until this point, well, for last episode anyway, he at the end of it when they were in the car and she was like, "Can you forgive me? I'm sorry. I forgive you." And he forgave her, and they played pretend for a little while, like everything was gonna be great and fixed and whatever. And she was fine with that. And then now this episode when he comes back from the hunting trip, she realizes that something had to happen on this hunting trip and she wants to know what it is. And when Hal and an old boy tell her by, blinking, then they turn to each other, "I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything either."
hmm
Um, she goes to him and tells him that he needs to go and get over her. But I just think that when they sat down at that table and they were eating, and he's like, "Where are the other people? Because I really don't want to be alone with you." I mean, that's pretty much what he was saying, subtext.
hmm
I didn't like that. I was just like, he hurt her. That was mean. I didn't like that. And so many people say that Melly doesn't love Fitz, but yeah, I think she really, really does. Because
I think she does too.
looking at that episode when he said that to her, you could see her face kind of cave a little bit, like, "Oh, something happened because you were just being nice to me and now you're being mean, and it's not right, and I didn't like it." Fitz.
I think what it is that Melly sort of, I think Melly loves Fitz in the best way that she knows how, but it's not the love that Fitz needs or wants.
Hmm.
Um, and I sort of wonder, I mean, I think it was really interesting seeing Melly as like the loving, like woman that he's in a relationship with for this episode, or like who he's married to. Um, Even though he doesn't really want to be married to her, because when she was folding the baby clothes and they were having that little like banter, like that was really cute. Like I could see
Exactly.
how their relationship could have been previously before, like maybe when they first got married or something. But and I wonder, sort of, Melly only starts talking about the political stuff really when she's spurned by Fitz in some way. So I
Exactly.
wonder if Melly had Fitz in the way that Olivia has Fitz, if that
If
would
she
be
would be a
enough for
different.
her. Yeah, if she would be a different person.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Finally, somebody that hates. I agree with you wholeheartedly because I honestly don't think that she would be such a, let's say, a B, you know. I don't think she would be such a B sometimes if he was just giving her what she needed emotionally. And I know it's hard to do that when you know that Melly is as stable as water because usually if he does start to depend on her, she just shifts on him
Hmm.
to I guess. Okay, let me start over. I think most women are manipulative. We are. Let's just face it. We're manipulative, and that's what it is. And even though you love somebody, that manipulation still plays a part in that situation. Like, you're still going to be kind of like, excuse me, I want what's best for me, even though I also want what's best for us. My needs kind of
Hmm.
come first sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So just because a woman is manipulative doesn't mean that she doesn't love the person. It just means that she's a woman. Like that's just
I don't think that's manipulative. I think everybody sort of enters into a relationship. I mean, relationships can't be entirely
selfless.
selfless, I think,
Exactly.
like on either side. So I don't think it's just women necessarily, I think.
Yeah, you're right, because men are kind of selfish themselves. So yeah,
Everybody's kind of selfish. I mean,
I'm
it's
not. I am like God. I am like Jesus. I am. I give love and give love. No, I'm just playing. I'm none of those things. Do not take me seriously. I am not like God. I do not want to be struck down by lightning. So let's just move right along. All right. Was the case for this episode compelling and why?
um I think it was compelling. I definitely think it was an interesting case, and that it supported this storyline. I think maybe not necessarily the Thorngate thing, though that was really interesting, especially given like what's happening in the United States now and stuff like that. But I think Artie's paranoia is sort of what tied into the storyline, because I was wondering if Artie's paranoia was enough for all of them. Because normally the case of the week mirrors something that's going on either with Olivia or within OPA, for Olivia and Fitz. And but I thought that maybe it mirrored David in that it seems like he's gone crazy with his wall of crazy and stuff, but he's actually right. But he's actually right about everything that's going on. And then also it could mirror Fitz's paranoia about Edison and Liv, because at that point they hadn't actually done anything, you know?
Hmm.
She was just talking to him, but he was like, "Are you two screwing again? Is he everything ever dreamed?" Like that kind of thing.
I like that. The parallel concept. I don't. I Well, yeah, I can see it for David. I can see it for Fitz. I guess I do agree with you because I'm just like I don't see. Well, yeah, yeah. But I think that it kind of also it did double duty because not only did it show paranoia for other parts of the episode, but it also showed the struggle that Huck was having in controlling that demon that he had on his back, because like he's going to the meetings, the AA meetings for murderers, but he's going to the meetings to try to get through it, but he's also enjoying the letting that part of himself out of the box or off the shelf. Because last episode he was ready to cut that dang on Reverend up and put him in several bags. In this episode, he is, like, took my watch, huh?
Yeah.
You took my watch, huh? He shot that dude with that blow dart so fast. I was like, oh, wow, yeah.
But you have to remember the significance of the watches, too. Like, he took them from all the people that he tortured and killed. So I feel like knowing that Artie took that watch sort of, like, triggered something in Hawk.
Yeah. He shouldn't have taken the watch. I told him not to touch his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how much clearer can I be? You took my watch. I'm about to, shoot you with a blow dart. You're going down. Like, he was serious about that.
But he also did it for Liv, too. I think. I mean, not necessarily the, like, torturing part, but he did need to get Artie back.
Yeah.
And so if he can torture him on the way and do something that he likes.
Why not?
Why not?
Go play with your toys. I mean, he was about to drag the whole team down. That little Artie Hornbecker, I didn't like him at all. Yeah. I didn't like him from the first time when he was in Olivia's car. What are you doing in my car? Like,
I know.
Well,
how did he get in there, one? But also, I was wondering...
why she parked in the part of the garage that had no cameras?
That has no cameras?
I was like, why would you do that? Okay, that didn't
I wonder if
make
she
any
knew
sense.
that it had no cameras, though.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think Artie was interesting, too, because he sort of... Like, it was... You had to wonder how much was real and how much wasn't, like, of all, like, his neuroses and stuff. What was he faking and what was actually him?
I want to know who was driving the black car.
I want to know that, too. I wanted to know that, too.
Like, the car shows up on demand whenever, and then...
and how did he get the car to drive by when he was with Hawk?
Is who it's registered to. Who didn't?
Right?
How could you not catch that when you sign somebody up for a car? I'm going to register you under will be watching. That is clearly a statement.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? That is so ridiculous. It had to be fake. Like, how could you not even, sir, I'm not going to let you register this. I mean, somebody, Yeah. I didn't like that. If blank would have happened in this episode, it would have been perfect. What do you think should have made this episode perfect if something had happened?
Well, I don't know about perfect, but I think that if Artie hadn't been trying to make a quick buck, the episode might have been a little bit more interesting, because I know they were trying to show that Olivia's gut is off and they needed that moment with Abby realizing that her gut is off. But the blowback that would have occurred if they had actually gone on air and Fitz had to deal with Olivia and all of that, that would have been really sort of fascinating to watch, I think. Especially...
It would have been more of an interesting storyline.
Yeah. And I don't know how they would have recovered from that, but I think it would have been interesting. And they could have shown Olivia's gut being off in a different way. But
that is true. I agree with you. I didn't know what would have made this episode perfect. I didn't put anything down. So Scandal has become an incredible phenomenon. With all the media aspects of it, with us live tweeting and tumbling and all that good stuff. What would, in the GIFs, let's not forget the GIFs.
Yeah.
What would have, what keeps you coming back for more?
I think Scandal is just addicting.
Except for this whole, summer thing where you took a whole summer off. Like, us gladiators didn't. We were summer gladiators. I don't know what's going on.
I know. I had planned to watch it, but then I got sucked into all these different TV shows.
How dare you cheat on Scandal?
I'm not cheating on Scandal. Scandal's still my number one. Scandal's still my number one, but now I have like a number 2 and a number 3.
Now you have tiers of importance. Like, they're on right now, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've already watched each episode at least twice, so...
Just twice, huh?
At least twice, I said. Some I've watched twice, some I've watched like 4 times.
Was it for the juiciness in the episode or the sex scenes? I mean, what was it? Well, what did you watch twice? What were your
I watched
priorities, Abigail?
everything. Well, because the first time I watch it, it has to. I sort of just take everything in and react, and then
Hmm.
the second time I watch it to listen for dialogue again,
Yeah.
stuff that I might have missed,
I
and
watch it for
yeah.
plot. I love the concept of the plotting and how things tie into each other, and you leave a couple things dangling. Because that's my thing. Like,
Hmm.
what did you think dangled from this episode that could be potentially brought back up in season 3?
Um, well, I don't actually think it's going to be brought back up, but with Olivia and Edison, I feel like there was a lot of stuff that wasn't explored in that storyline. Like Edison talks about how Olivia didn't return his phone calls for 3 years, which is a long time. Um,
You think?
and he says, like, let me guess, some third cousin died, then he went out of the country. But then he also talks about, like, oh, so am I going to be a client of OPA finally? So he knows about Olivia Pope and Associates. I mean, I assume that everybody would because she's sort of pretty powerful when it comes to Washington. Um, but if he said, am I finally going to be a client of OPA? That sort of implies that they have had some sort of contact, um, or that OPA has been around longer than we thought, maybe. Um, but I also so basically, with the 3 years of not returning phone calls, that means that she disappeared from his life, which she's good at doing, which we've seen with Fitz, and maybe we will see with her father. Um, but I'd be interested to learn more about Olivia's previous relationship and engagement with Edison, and why did she run? Because if we hadn't heard from her in 3 years, that makes it seem like it was sudden, like she just sort of disappeared.
I think that she, in the beginning, the first season, I remember her saying to Cyrus and Fitz when he had fired her,
Mm-hmm.
because he was super super attracted to her or whatever. I believe that she said that she had left the client. No, she had left a very lucrative job to come here and help him
Mm-hmm.
on the campaign. So I honestly think that Hope and Associates was probably formed during that time, like during the time that she left that that company she worked for, whoever she worked for, and then she started on the trail with Fitz. Because when you think about it, it had to be because if she left Edison and left that job and then started OPA and all this stuff, then of course she's not returning his calls for 3 years and she's disappeared from his life. That time, during that time frame, he's hearing about her associates, OPA. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking based on what you're asking, but it may not be true. I'm just saying.
Well,
Just
actually, now that you say that, though, that does make sense. And I guess we did sort of see the formation of OPA in flashback episodes when Olivia called Abby and she was like, "Are you
yeah.
ready to like come?" Or she told Huck, "Are you ready to come back into the world?" And she
Mhm.
told Abby basically like, "Are you ready to come out of my kitchen?"
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where Harrison was or Steven, but
Well,
you could.
Harrison was in jail, and Steven's just they're not picking that up since he's not in the show anymore.
Well, see, that's what I'm advocating for. Like, I'm not gonna say it anymore. I know the people who are listening are probably like, she's been saying that for like 6 episodes, but I really want Steven to come back. Like, we were talking last episode, and she said she wishes they would introduce a new associate. I wish they would bring him back. Like, I think that would make for a lot of change. I think, and it
I
may get
really
them
like
back on
Steven.
track. Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
like, now if we do this, and he wasn't annoying about it. Abby is
Hmm.
generally annoying about everything she says. I'm like, if Abby would just stay home one day because she's sick, have some random sex off screen with David, leave us alone. Like, I don't want you on an episode, just one episode. But they're not going to do that because they had Harrison in an absolutely pointless episode one time. I was like, what was he doing in that episode? He just
Which episode?
I can't even remember. It was one of the latter ones that I did initially when I started the podcast, and it was just like he had 3 lines, and they were totally purposeless. They could all be cut out. Like, it didn't support the storyline, didn't support any type of interaction. It wasn't necessary. Some other character could have said that. A random hobo on the street could have walked by and said Harrison's line. He should not have been in that episode. So who is your favorite character for this episode and why?
I think Olivia is normally my favorite character by default, but aside from that, I really liked Alyssa in this episode. Yeah, I really like when I really like when she shows up. Like, I want her to be there more.
Yes.
But first, she like comes to her former boss's house, which is sort of weird. And then when she sees his wall of crazy, she's a little put off. But then she tells him to tell her about it and even comes up with like possible scenarios with him. And I think that this shows that, I mean, all of the coworkers on the show aren't really normal coworkers. They don't fall into normal coworker territory.
She said to David, she's telling anyone who listened that you've gone all beautiful mind. Oh, David. When she said that, oh, David. That was my favorite quote. And then she said something and then she's like, his bitches be crazy. I was like, so she was absolutely my favorite. So you are right. I loved her for this episode. Who was your least favorite character and why?
So this might seem like sort of a cop-out, but I don't really have a least favorite character. I know most of the time on the show I just appreciate all of the characters and what their purpose is. And on Tumblr, sometimes it's easy to get sucked into hating certain characters. But
like Jake. They hated on Jake. Oh my God. I don't like Jake either, but the level of disgust and hate we have for Jake, I was just like, I can't watch this anymore. I gotta close this window.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the characters are understandable, if not relatable. And that's, I think,
I don't relate to Jake.
I mean, but he's understandable. You don't have to relate.
I don't understand him either.
Really? I mean, I didn't hate Jake in the beginning, like how they tried to show.
I always hated him. I did not know what he was doing there. I was suspicious from the outset. I didn't know. No.
I mean, I don't know. Even after it was shown that he was like watching Olivia, I still liked him. I was still like, all right, well, there's something. I know, but it wasn't
Abigail, I do not know what your relationships look like, but I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you, Abigail.
It wasn't like it appeared. It was really Fitz watching her. And Fitz, I mean,
really?
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 Yes, Fitz surveilled. I mean, this doesn't make it right, I think. But in the relationship that Olivia and Fitz has, he watches her, and like she knows that. Like when at Treegate, when he was telling her like, oh, you've been with Edison for blah 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 years, and you were engaged, and you lived in Georgetown in New York, and blah blah blah. When he told her all of that stuff, like, she didn't bat an eyelash as to how he knew. She just got mad that he said, are you two screwing again? Is he everything that you ever dreamed? Because obviously, no, like, she loves him. You know, that's the only thing she got upset about. Or, like, when...
I think she got upset because this man is now... Because, like, okay, all before we feel like Fitz and Olivia have this deep connection of love. And even though the Treegate thing happened, the kissing is fine. But he was literally about to have sex with her in public, outside, with his agents turned backs. That is a level of disrespect.
No. I think she was upset about that part. I do think she was upset about that part. But I think that, like, when they were yelling at each other... and like that, like what stopped her was him being like, are you two screwing again? Not that he knew everything about her relationship with Edison. So like she's used to him watching her. And there was another episode, I forgot which episode it was, but there was the black sedan outside and she came and like slammed on it and was like, tell your guy I know what he did. So she knows that Fitz watches her. Like that doesn't make it normal and it doesn't make it healthy,
I
but
think that he wasn't, but see, that's a different level of watching somebody. You're not now watching me get butt naked in my room and walk to the shower, scratch my butt. You're not, that's a different level of invasion of privacy.
but
And then
Fitz
you
is the
would,
one who put that on her. I mean, I do
but
think that
no, but see, look, also with Thorngate, especially with Thorngate, he didn't need Jake.
that's true. But he hired Jake.
But he didn't need Jake because with Thorngate, he didn't need somebody sitting there watching her. He wanted Jake to infiltrate and to get in, and I guess spy on her in a way that he could not do with Thorngate. He wanted her secrets and her. It was to me the fact that even okay, he may have hired Jake to do that, but the fact that you are fine with watching a woman all day long,
Well, that doesn't mean
taping her, going back and playing it like it's TV, that is a little much. And the type of person that you are is shown through that. I
but
mean,
really
I
though,
just, mm-mm,
I
mm-mm,
mean, I think
mm-mm.
that he might not have been fine with it, but his boss is the president of the United States. I
I
mean, are
could
you
give
really
two
going
tiddlywinks and a
to?
good goddamn. You are not about to have me watching somebody on the screen like they have no person. Like I think if Fitz wanted to watch Olivia, he could have used Thorngate and he could have watched her himself. He didn't want to do that. He wanted somebody else to do it.
I
Because
mean,
then,
technically, he doesn't really have time to do it since he
look
is the
here,
president
you
and
want to
all.
watch me do it your damn self. I'm all mad. I'm not worth your time. You got this random dude over here watching me on screen get butt naked for him. It's like a porno. Like and she didn't know any of it was going on.
I
Jake
know,
is
yeah.
disgusting. I cannot believe you took it for Jake. I'm so sad.
I mean, I'm not taking up for Jake. I don't know.
Well, it's not his fault. That's his
I mean, I
job,
do
baby.
think that, but it is his job. And he's also in B613. He was getting orders from like 2 different people who are really high up, and Rowan would have killed him, probably. Probably might anyway. We'll know now that he's like a regular, but
I mean, I would have just gone in the box. I'm like, hey, put me in the box. I'm not, not for me, not me. I mean, at some point you have to have some morals and ethics about yourself. Has nothing to do with your job.
But I mean, do you feel the same way about Huck?
I like Huck's killer instinct. I like that. But Huck ain't watching nobody all day long at his computer. Like, Huck really just wants to kill people, and that's it.
But
that's
is that
different.
better? Is that better?
I think a little bit. It's not gross. Like, you sitting here watching me taping it, going back, it's gross. And then you infiltrate my life, and then you have sex with me, more gross. Like,
I mean, yeah, I think that's problematic. I mean, no, I do think it's problematic, but I do also recognize that Jake was being told, like, Jake was following orders.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You get hired at a job, and they say that your position is office girl. So you're just supposed to do stuff around the office. And you don't realize when you got hired at this job that the office is actually a murder farm. So people are coming in and getting murdered in the back. You cleaning up blood and guts and intestines and such, pee, feces, whatever. And you're like, well, this is my job. I got hired to do this. Could you?
No, I think that's different. I think that's different because Jake works at the Pentagon. Like,
okay,
his
is that the
boss
Pentagon?
is the president of the United States.
Oh no, I don't see it.
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of power dynamics that exist for him more so than like the average person.
Okay, I'm just gonna get off it because I feel like I'm bullying you, and I don't want that to come across that way. So who's your least? You said you didn't have a least favorite. My least favorite was Abby because she was so snarky with Quinn. It just got on my nerves. I was like, you know what? I don't see it for you, Abby. Just shut up. That was my.
I mean, I thought it was funny though, but she was really snarky with Quinn.
She was like, no, it's blah 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 pumps and I'm like, look, she didn't have to bring you coffee at all. You redheaded
that's true.
witch.
No, that part I didn't like that part. But I did
Yeah.
like how Harrison, I don't know. I think Harrison sort of balanced it out by being nice to Quinn.
I liked at the end when he was like, I'm Quinn, bitch. Quinn was like, I go by one name and it is not Lindsay. And she walked
Yeah.
off.
I
Harrison
mean,
just laughed. And
I think it's
that time, I
interesting to
love me some
see.
Harrison.
Yeah, yeah, I like seeing how Harrison interacts with different people. And with Quinn, like he came in and kissed her on the cheek and was like, "Welcome back." But then when he was
Yeah.
talking to Abby, he was saying like that she needs to stop. She's playing bad cop and she needs to stop playing bad cop. And he said something about like, "Why are you badgering that kid?"
Hmm.
Um, which is interesting to see that he sees like he and Quinn are probably about the same age. I think they said he was like 27 in the first episode, and I think Quinn is supposed to be like 27. But he sees her as like a kid, like
So
maybe his kid sister or
inexperienced.
something.
Wow.
Yeah,
What were your favorite quotes from this episode?
they're not the ones that probably most people would say. But I liked when Olivia was upset with Edison and she told him, "You always did put your career above all." And then he retorted, "Takes one to know one." Because I think Liv is already always ready to dish out stuff to people, but she doesn't like it when it comes back to her. Um, and that's shown when she tries to leave after he calls her out, even though right before that she said something to him. So
Hmm.
I liked seeing that. And then my other favorite was when Harrison said to Abby, "You've been badgering that kid." And I just talked about that basically.
One of mine was when Fitz realized, or he said to Cyrus that um, they knew about the late night phone calls to Olivia, and he said, "Do you know anything about that?" And Cyrus was like, and you you just saw Cyrus like, yeah, it was me. He was like, "You're ticking, sir. You're a bomb stuffed in a teddy bear waiting to explode. How do I defuse you, sir?"
Actually, yeah, that was a really good
Cyrus.
monologue.
Yeah, Cyrus
Yeah.
is. I love Cyrus. He's one of my favorite characters. His snarkiness is not annoying. I think it's because you understand and you appreciate the pressures that he's under to be in that position. And then he's trying to keep everybody moving the ship forward, not going backwards. And he loves the power too. So that was interesting to me to see him say that to him, like, yes, I've been watching you because you're doing something and I don't know what's going on. I want to know and you're not telling me. And I kind of feel like even with when season 2 went further along and Fitz had shut Cyrus out, he could have just used the same method to get himself back in so he knew what was going on. Well, I don't know why he didn't do that. I just don't see why Thorngate wasn't used better, like throughout this season. It could have been, you know?
I
Just
think
my
it was
thought.
one of those things that they bring up and sort of drop after the
They shouldn't
episode.
have. I like Thorngate.
Yeah, they could have used it. That's true.
A lot more. I hope they use it in season 3. That would be good.
Bring back Thorngate.
Bring back Thorngate. Let's get some spying going on here without the use of Jake. Nasty pervert. Well, he's in Jake down the hole. He's not coming out.
Well, he might be coming out now that he's a regular. He can't.
uh,
Scott Foley can't be in the hole forever as a regular.
I think that the Tumblr hate did kind of spoil me a little bit on Jake. The Tumblr hate
No,
was
yeah,
so
I agree.
it was full of vitriol. Like, they were just like, he must die. I was like,
Joke.
yeah, JK. Look off of that. Based on this episode, what predictions do you have for season 3? Do you have any?
um, sorry, I have notes.
Me too.
Um, Not really. I think I'm just really interested to see what the new season brings, and I hope we learn
I
more
can't wait.
about. Um, yeah, I hope we learn more about Olivia's entire family and her background, not just her dad. Um, yeah, I don't know. I could
You
say some
realize
other
that they
things,
give us
but
like one character introspection per season, right? So this
who
next
was it
season,
last season?
It was Huck. They gave us some full
Oh no, yeah,
intensive on
Huck.
Huck.
But I meant
And then the
first
first season
season.
was more of a little more of Steven.
Oh,
Um,
and sort of Quinn, I guess, too.
yeah, and Quinn.
Yeah.
A little more of Steven and Quinn, but not so much the other people. We just knew brief snippets, which we still just know brief snippets. So maybe
Hmm.
this season they'll focus on one character as well and give us brief snippets of another. That would
Well,
be
in
interesting.
an interview, yeah, in an interview, Carrie said that Shonda hinted that they're going to explore Harrison's backstory more. So that'll
Hmm.
be cool to
I don't
see.
believe it. I don't believe what's gonna. I like supposition and predicting what I think may happen, but
Hmm.
Shonda Rhimes is a beautiful mind. Like she goes into her, you just can't predict it. Like I like the concept of thinking about what's going to happen next, but who knows? She
I
might change up
know.
the whole formula for next season, and we may still get the cases and the all that kind of stuff, but we may not get any character introspection. We just don't know. So I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think will happen with the OPA team?
Um, I think that they're going to be sort of doing their own thing for a while without Olivia. I mean, Olivia will be there, obviously, but I don't think she's going to be the figurehead of OPA for a little bit. I think Harrison is sort of going to take that role, especially because she gave Harrison the folders, and Olivia is going to be dealing with the blowback from her own scandal. So um, she's so I think Harrison is going to sort of take on the role of um, like the figurehead for a while, and that Huck is sort of going to become like a bodyguard to Olivia, but then he's also going to have to deal with what he opened in Quinn a little bit. Abby's probably going to be super judgmental about what happened with Fitz and Olivia, like super
But
judgmental
she
because
already knew.
I don't think she did.
She did know. Remember when David was in the office and he was like, "Oh, I wonder who he slept with," and they all just filed out of that office. She
But
already knew.
I don't think they knew. I think what it was is that it was like another scandal, like another thing that they might have to deal with. Because the president's been their client before. I know that Huck knows and Harrison knows, but I don't think Abby and Quinn know.
I do believe they. Well, I don't know, but I think they do. What do you think is going to happen with Melly with that scandal? Because she copped to being the woman on the tape, and clearly she's not. So, what do you think that's what's going to happen with that? I think Melly set out to decimate Olivia's career. She just didn't want to be the one to pull the final trigger, honestly. So she just put it out there that Fitz was having an affair and left it up to other people to figure out who he was having the affair with. My thought.
I don't know what'll happen with Melly. I think I'd have to think about that a little bit more. I sort of forgot about what you just said.
That's because somebody didn't watch during the summer. Just not gonna call any names. I'm just saying. The upcoming election. Now that Reston knows that he's not the president, well, he is the president technically. What do you think is going to happen, and who do you think is going to run against Fitz? If
I think it
that's going
would,
to be the season we're anticipating anyway.
yeah. Um, I think if Melly ran against Fitz, that would be something to watch. But I think Reston's probably going to run again, maybe, um, and that he might talk about it and bring out that Fitz isn't really the president by um, the public. If he brings that out into the campaign, he doesn't have any proof at the moment. So he would have to find some proof. So the third season might um, have him trying to find proof because, like Liv said, defiance will never be over. So maybe it really never will be over.
Somebody said if they have to hear the name Defiance one more dang on time. I'm like, well, in most of the sci-fi serials, Defiance is always the name of the city that people are in, you know? Which is
Really?
weird. Yeah, a lot of sci-fi series, they have Defiance as the name of the town that the people are in. It's weird. But seeing as all of this went along with that card, the can't remember what it's called. The
The
card,
Citron
the
card?
Citron card. I was gonna call it a Scantron card. You can tell I still got that teacher in me. So the Citron card. Do you think it's possible that Reston will try to get um, whoever, whatever committee or whatever he's on, to try to make the voting different this time because of that card? Because Hollis's company, I guess, manufactures that card, or
Hmm.
whatever, or even awarded to a different contractor.
I think that's more likely than revamping the whole system because, like the when oh my God, what's his name? Uh, Cyrus, when James,
James.
when James,
I'm like, who's she talking about?
yeah, when
Describe him.
when James went to Defiance, the guy was like, "Oh, we have all these new voting machines. Like, it's all great." So they probably spent a lot of money on those. So I don't think they're gonna just revamp the whole system. But Hollis has sort of been getting gradually chopped down. So I think that they might take away the manufacturing rights from him as well.
I don't like that because I like Cyrus's character. He brings that level of evil, just straight, pure, unadulterated, unapologetic evil to to this show. Like, he's just like, look, whatever's gonna make me money, that's all I want to do. I don't care about none of that other bull crap. He wasn't there for the whole, like, I think with his kid, that episode, it was really,
Hmm.
whoa, what happened to my face? Oh well, the picture looks better anyway. With the whole thing that happened with his kid, he was almost regretful that he had put other things ahead of his well, youngest daughter, but he's more about his money and making the money, and that's pretty much his focus. And I think
Yeah.
he's only in bed with politicians because they can, create the laws that allow him to make more money. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it's
that's what a lot of.
funny.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. He calls Fitz Fitzy at some point in this episode, and he's the only person other than Fitz who calls Olivia Livy. And I think it's interesting how he just like crosses those boundaries. Like he has no problem just like I don't know. He's an interesting character for sure.
Okay, so we talked about that. Huck and Jake. Not Huck. Charlie and Jake. What are your thoughts about those two? We talked
Um,
a little bit about Jake, but let's mix it in
I
with some Charlie.
um Charlie. I think that Charlie's either going to start working with Huck or continue to be like the force against Huck. And that's what he's been. I mean, he wanted OPA to work to help him, but Charlie's really out for himself in the same way that Hollis is out for himself,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
But I assume that we're going to get more B613 in the third season because Jake's in the hole and Olivia's dad is the head of it. So maybe Charlie will be brought back into that fold somehow. And maybe Huck will too, actually. We don't really know.
Every time somebody says Jake's in the hole, I don't know if y'all ever heard that thing was "Mommy's down the hole." Y'all ever heard that? I don't know, maybe it's just me. Because every time somebody says Jake's in the hole, I think Jake's down the hole. Comes in my head. So yeah, where can people find you on Thursdays and um give them your information so that they can follow you and tweet you and join in with the scandal fest that is our lives on Thursday.
On Thursdays, I usually watch with people in my dorm, in my room, and nobody has to be gathered because every Thursday night at 9:58 p.m., people are sitting on the couch waiting for Scandal to come on. And people can find me at Love is Impact on Twitter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it.
Thank